everyone, I am Kanupriya Sharma and I welcome you to this video solution for a strengthened OG question by GMATQuizMaster. The fight in this question is between just two answer choices, the correct one and the trap answer choice. And the most interesting fact about this question is the reason why students reject the correct answer choice. No, they do not find any error in it. However, in the past, they have observed that this kind of choice does not work in strengthen and weaken questions. So they think that it will not work here as well, and they reject it. Then they move on to analyze the incorrect trap answer choice, and that is where they falter. A lot of them think that this trap answer choice is conveying exactly what is required. It seems to be conveying that the plan will be successful. However, is that what it is conveying? No. If you understand the meaning of the trap answer choice correctly, you will reject it right away. However, if you falter while understanding what exactly it is trying to convey, you may fall in the trap of that answer choice. So let's analyze this question and understand why this correct answer choice works here. It may not work in other questions, but it works here. And why the incorrect answer choice is incorrect. Let's get started. So let's start with passage analysis. A moderately large city is redesigning its central downtown area. So we are talking about the city which is moderately large in size, and we get to know that it is redesigning its central downtown area. So the focused area is central downtown area and it is being redesigned and is considering a plan. So this city is considering a plan. This plan is not yet final. It is considering a plan that would reduce the number of lanes for automobiles and trucks and increase those for bicycles and pedestrians. So, what this plan is about? Let's say, let's compare now and if plan is implemented, then what will happen? The number of lanes for automobiles and trucks, let's say it is 5 right now, it will be reduced. Let's say it will be reduced to 3, and number of lanes for bicycles and pedestrians, let's say if it is 3 now, it will be increased to 5. This will be reduced and this will be increased. These numbers are just for example. Let's read further. The intent. So now we have the intent behind this plan. The intent is to attract more workers and shoppers to downtown businesses by making downtown easier to reach and more pleasant to move around it. So, this is the reason why, this is what the plan is trying to achieve. The ultimate objective is to attract more workers and shoppers to this area, to the businesses here, and that is by making this area easier to reach and pleasant to move around in. Let's read the question stem. Which of the following would, if true, most strongly support the prediction that the plan would achieve its goal? So the passage does not mention any conclusion. The conclusion that we need to strengthen is given in the question stem, and it is the prediction that needs to be strengthened. And what is the prediction? The prediction is that the plan would achieve its goal. What is the goal? The goal is to attract more workers and shoppers to downtown businesses. So we need to strengthen the prediction that the plan, if implemented, will be able to attract more workers and shoppers to downtown businesses by making it easier to reach and more pleasant to move around in. So let's quickly review the passage structure here. The first statement presents a fact which explains the proposed plan. The second statement is again a fact which presents the intent behind this plan, and it helps us understand what will make the plan successful. What is the goal that the plan is trying to achieve? And the question stem here defines what we need to strengthen. It is the prediction that the plan will be able to achieve its goal. Let's now understand the passage logic. What is happening here? We are trying to move from this number to, from this number to this number. That is fewer lanes for automobiles and trucks and more lanes for bicycles and pedestrians, and the intent is to attract more workers and shoppers to this area by making it easier to access and move around it. So the thing that has been considered here, the logic that has been considered here, is that more lanes for bicycles and pedestrians and fewer lanes for automobiles and trucks should help us attract more workers and shoppers. So this change in number of lanes, an increase in number of lanes for bicycles and pedestrians, and a reduction in number of lanes for automobiles and trucks should make this area more accessible, easily accessible, and more pleasant to move around in. And in that way, it should be able to attract more workers and shoppers to the businesses that are here in this area. That is the passage logic, and this is the logical jump that has been considered, that this change will help us attract these workers and shoppers here. With this, let's update our bridge table. So if your understanding of the passage logic as well as the conclusion was correct, as discussed, mark a tick here. Otherwise, if you missed anything in the passage, or you missed understanding what the intent exactly is, how it is being achieved, what are we trying to do here, what does the plan change, anything that you missed, mark across here and mention the exact reason here. Did you not read the passage properly, you skipped reading something, or you rushed through something, or you did not connect the information that has been given to you, or you did not think about the logical gap that exists, anything of that sort will come here. It will explain why you were not able to understand the passage logic. Then, regarding the conclusion, if you did not understand the conclusion correctly, that what is the prediction that needs to be strengthened, exactly what are we trying to achieve, if there was any misunderstanding, or you definitely misunderstood or misread something, or did not consider something, anything of that sort, mark across here and mention the exact reason here. With that, let's move to understand what the correct answer choice should convey here. So now that we clearly understand what needs to be strengthened, that is, the prediction that the plan would achieve its goal, it is very easy to understand what the correct answer choice should convey. So here, the correct answer choice will convey that if the plan is enforced, it will help attract more workers and shoppers to downtown businesses by making downtown easier to reach and more pleasant to work around, to move around in. Now, you can go on and consider some specific scenarios in which this will happen, in which this plan will help make downtown more easily accessible to these workers and shoppers, or more pleasant to move around in. The thing is that, yes, those scenarios will help improve your understanding of the passage logic, but any such scenario and the correct answer choice will definitely convey what has been written here. That is, it will, all those relevant scenarios will convey that yes, the plan, if implemented, will help attract more workers and shoppers to the businesses in this area. With this, let's update our bridge table. So if you were able to identify what the correct answer choice needs to say correctly, mark a tick here and move ahead. However, if you missed this step, or your understanding was not correct, you made some changes in the plan, you made some changes in the goal that we are trying to achieve with the plan, any changes or any mistakes or any misunderstanding there, means across here and mention the exact reason here. With that, let's move to answer choice analysis. Choice A: people who make a habit of walking or bicycling whenever feasible derive significant health benefits from doing so. So, what does this choice do? This choice states or presents the impact, the positive impact of walking or bicycling whenever feasible. What can happen with that? Now, is that relevant to the conclusion? Is that relevant to the success of the plan? No, it is completely irrelevant, and that is why this choice is incorrect. Not a popular choice anyway, but if you selected this answer choice, it means your understanding of the passage was not correct. You did not know what you are trying to strengthen here. So please go back and analyze the passage again and understand why you missed doing that. Let's move to choice B now. Choice B, again, not a popular answer choice. Most people who prefer to shop at suburban malls instead of downtown urban areas do so because parking is easier and cheaper at the former. So, this choice gives the reason why these people who prefer to shop at suburban malls, most of these people, why do they have that kind of preference? Why do they prefer suburban malls instead of downtown urban areas? And the reason is that the parking is easier and cheaper in these suburban malls. Now, if at all, this choice indicates that this target segment, because we are trying to attract these people to downtown businesses, right? However, this choice indicates that these people may be coming for shopping in their own vehicles. That is why they need parking. Now, if they are coming in their own vehicles, reducing the number of lanes for automobiles and trucks will not attract them. Most likely it will give them another reason to go to the shopping to go to these suburban malls for shopping. So the best that this choice can do is weaken the chances of success of the plan that has been discussed, and that is why this choice is incorrect. Now, again, if you selected this answer choice, you need to question yourself. Did you really understand the passage logic? Did you really understand what you are trying to strengthen here? And did you really understand what choice B is conveying? You will see that you have faltered in one or more of these things, and that is why you selected choice B. Let's move to the correct answer choice C now. In other moderately sized cities, so we are talking about other similar cities. Let's take a note of it. Other similar cities where measures were taken to make downtowns more accessible for walkers and cyclists. So, what was done in these other similar cities? The downtown was made more accessible for walkers and cyclists. Downtown businesses began to thrive. So, these downtown businesses started thriving. Now, this is an example and analogy given to us about other similar cities. Does that mean the plan that we are creating for this city will also work? Let's see. So, what is our plan trying to do? The plan that we have for our city, that is the city in question, for this city, the plan is to increase the number of lanes for bicycles and pedestrians. What will that do? It will tend to make the downtown more accessible for walkers and cyclists, right? That is the intended benefit of increasing the number of lanes, right? So that is what the plan is trying to achieve. The plan is trying to make this area more accessible for walkers and cyclists. And from the analogy that has been shared about other similar cities, we know that this can increase the downtown businesses. This can help the downtown businesses thrive. So, in that way, the plan that has been given to us, it seems that the plan will be successful if this strategy of making downtown more accessible has worked in other cities, if it has resulted in the downtown businesses thriving, if it has resulted in that, then it can work in our city also. That is what the plan is trying to do. And that is why this choice makes us believe more in the success of the plan. And that is why it is the correct answer choice. Now, you may say that, okay, it is working here, but this kind of choice does not work in other strengthen and weaken questions. I agree that such a comparison, such an analogy may not work in all the questions, which is where the context, the conclusion that we are trying to strengthen or weaken, the analogy that has been given, everything needs to be evaluated. Is it really helping us believe in the conclusion more, or is it really helping us question the conclusion? Is what you need to evaluate. Feel free to share other questions in which this kind of analogy does not work as the correct answer choice, and we can discuss why it does not work there while it works here. Now, please update your bridge table and make sure that going forward you do not accept or reject this kind of analogy as the correct answer choice in other questions. You have to evaluate it completely before marking it or rejecting it. Choice D, the most popular incorrect answer choice and the only popular incorrect answer choice. Let's understand why it is incorrect. If the proposed lane restrictions on drivers are rigorously enforced, it talks about this condition that if these proposed lane restrictions are rigorously enforced, more people will likely be attracted to downtown businesses than would otherwise be. Now, it seems to be saying that if the plan is enforced, then more people will be attracted or more people are likely to be attracted to downtown businesses. If you also thought so, you faltered at this point. You did not understand what this choice is correctly saying. This choice compares two situations. The first one is if the plan is rigorously enforced. And then it says that it will attract more people in this situation than it would otherwise be. So if it is attracting 100 people, if the plan is enforced rigorously and it attracts 100 people, then in the other situation, it would just attract maybe 80 people. Now, what this other situation here is important. Is it the situation in which the plan has not been enforced at all? No. If that was your understanding, that is where you faltered. The other situation is that the plan is not rigorously enforced or the plan is loosely enforced. So, in both the situations, the plan has been enforced. So, it is talking about two versions of the plan itself. If the plan is rigorously enforced, it is more likely to attract higher number of people than if it is loosely enforced. The success of the plan depends on comparison with this situation in which the plan has not been enforced at all. So if this number was 50 here, then the plan works, whether you enforce it rigorously or loosely. It works. If this number was 150 here, then the plan is not successful, whether you enforce it strictly or you enforce it loosely. And this difference in meaning here, this otherwise situation is what makes all the difference. You have to understand that it is not talking about this situation. This otherwise situation does not refer to the situation in which the plan has not been enforced at all. It refers to this situation in which the plan has been loosely enforced. And this difference in meaning can make you select the incorrect answer choice very confidently. So I hope choice D, why it is incorrect, is very clear to you now. And that is what will go in your error log, in your bridge table, that you did not understand the meaning of this otherwise situation, or you missed noticing that here we are talking about the situation in which the plan has been rigorously enforced, and that is why you could not come up with the correct situation for the otherwise case. So I hope you will be able to update your bridge table for this choice. Let's move to the last answer choice. E. Choice E. Most people who own and frequently ride bicycles for recreational purposes. So these are the cyclists that we are trying to target. Most of these people live at a significant distance from downtown urban areas. So, at best, this choice is trying to convey that okay, changing the number of lanes may not be very helpful because these people, anyway, live very far. They live at significant distance from the downtown area, and maybe it may be difficult for them to come to this area anyway. So, at best, this choice can weaken the conclusion. It is not a popular answer choice anyway. If you marked this answer choice, then again you need to question your understanding of the passage logic, conclusion, what the correct answer choice should say, what choice E is conveying, and why did you think that choice E strengthens the chances of success of the plan. All right, so we are done discussing this question, and you have your bridge tables updated for this question, and I hope you will be able to update your error log as well. I also hope that going forward, you will neither accept nor reject a choice that is based on analogy without evaluating it properly. As I already mentioned, feel free to share other questions there that reject this answer choice, where this kind of answer choice is incorrect, and we can discuss why it does not work in those questions while it works here. That understanding why it works in some questions, why it does not work in some questions is very important. So that is the first takeaway. The second takeaway is to always understand what the choice says. If there is a condition given, for example, in choice D, when it talks about rigorous enforcement, and if you ignore it, if you miss it, you will misinterpret the choice definitely. So always understand what are the conditions given, what is the exact meaning that the choice is trying to convey before rejecting or selecting it. I hope this will be very helpful. Good luck.